This demo is about calling Power Automate Flow directly from a model-driven app. If you do remember, back in November, Microsoft changed the URL structure for Power Automate HTTP triggers, but the new URLs are too long for the old Ribbon Workbench, which we used in several occasions on our clients to call Power Automate flows directly, or for that sake, other API gateways from the Ribbon Workbench, or the command bar as it's called now. So today I'm showing you an alternative version. But before we get into it, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Michael Nielsen. I first connected to the internet back in 1992. Before people knew what it was, I was back then experimenting with Slip on my Amiga, but that's years before TCP/IP became mainstream. Today, I'm a senior Power Platform consultant at Abakion here in Copenhagen, where I specialize in enterprise integrations, working daily with Power Automate, logic apps, and function apps. And I would like to connect, but I made my speaking debut last year with back-to-back sessions at EPPC in Vienna and then PPCC in Las Vegas. And this year, I'm actually speaking again at EPPC here in Copenhagen, Denmark. So I hope to meet some of you. When I'm not in front of the computer, I'm a father of two. I have been married for more than 25 years. I enjoy photography, and I'm slowly renovating my 1930s house here in Copenhagen. But enough about me. And as said before, I'd like to connect, so you can scan this or go to my website. But let's move on. Here I have a solution. It's a car database. I want to be able to sell cars. And for this, I need to show this here. All right, I'm ready. So I have a very simple solution. I have a car database that shows me some cars. I can show you the model-driven app here. Let's play it. So here I have a list of cars, and these are some cars I would like to sell. So I can select multiples, and I would like to forward those to an external seller for this. For this, I have made a flow. I have it here. So I can call the flow. This flow will get the details of the car and then forward to my provider. In this case, it's doing nothing. And then it will respond back whether or not it was successful. But let's get started on what needs to be done. First up, I have a environment variable. So I'll go to new, more, environment variable. I need to copy my name for it here. So I'll call it flow for submitting. I'll call it environment submit to reseller, and let's have a nice here, a nice description, and the data type is text. I want a value for the flow. I don't use the default value. Instead, I use the current value. I go to my flow and I copy the URL that I need here. So now I have the flow URL. It's creating my variable. Next, I need a JavaScript. So I'll go to new, more, web resource. The file type is JavaScript. I need a name. I'll call it /js/flowcaller. The reason I'm using the slashes is because then I get a folder structure if I'm looking at the files beneath. I'll call it flowcaller. Like that. And let's give it a nice description. Call Power Automate flow from command bar. Then I need the actual JavaScript. For this, I'll go to my website, ruprecht.dk, which links directly to my link tree where you can get the code directly. So here I have the source, the flow caller. I'm copying the entire contents and pasting into the code at the top, saving. So now I have my JavaScript. I'll then go and edit my model-driven app. So here I have my model-driven app. I'll start by editing the command bar. I want to start by editing the main grid. And for this, I want my button to be, let's say, here. But I'll put it here. So I'll start by adding a new button, a new command. Just to let you know, the first time you do this, you will actually get a warning. So I'll just show you what it looked like earlier. So you will get this whether or not it should add a component library. You can just select JavaScript and then move forward. It will automatically create the component library at a later point and give you this notification that it has created that. But for now, you just can ignore that. But I will make a new command. Let's see. Let's give it a label. I'll call it send to reseller. I want an icon. Forward button. I like that. The action, I want to run a JavaScript. First time you do this, there's no, I cannot see the flow caller. So you need to add library. So I'll just search for flow caller. Here I have my flow caller and I also have my description that I added. Then I have a function name. The function name I can see here. Let's go to the raw view. The first part of it is Appian flow caller. That's just the naming convention that I use. So Appian flow caller. And the final part is the actual function within the code here I want to call. And this is the call flow with confirmation. So I'll copy that as well. So now I'm calling this. This action requires 6 parameters. So I'll just add those one at a time. The first is the primary control. The second is the one called, let's see here, it's called this one, selected control selected item references. The third one is the name of the environment variable. And I have it right here. It's, of course, prefixed by my group, because that's what I call my supplier. And then the name of my environment variable. The fourth parameter is the text that will be shown in the confirmation dialog. So I'll put that in here. As you can see, I also have this variable that will be replaced when showing the pop-up. The fifth parameter is the text that will be shown after the cards have been submitted. And the final one is a Boolean. And for the grid view, I always have this as false. I'll come into that when I implement it on the main form. For visibility, I would like to change that to a formula. So the formula I'm using is, I have it here, count rows. And it's counting self dot selected dot all items, and it needs to be more than 0. And that will change the visibility of the button. But let's see what this did. I'll save and publish. And play. So let's see if it, sometimes you need to do an extra refresh to get the button to work. Here. So now you can see I have the send to reseller. So if I select a single car, send to reseller, confirms that I wish to send one car to the reseller. If I instead select multiple, I can send 5. And if you notice, this is called error. So I have in my flow a check. So if I send these to the reseller, I will send all 5. It will be processing. You can see that I have sent 4 cars and 1 failed. So this error failed. So if I actually look at this, I can see that it failed to submit the car, and there was a sample error response back. If I look at my flow, I have it here. I can see my flow ran 5 times. 1 of them failed. I just forced an error, but in this case, I just forced an error, throw an error, and that made the flow run with an error, and I terminated with an error. So, but I responded back with status 500, and that was necessary for me to catch the error within the application. But let's update the main form instead. So I'll go to the edit command bar, main form. I also want a button. Let's place it here. It will be before the activate and deactivate. So just like before, I'll add a command. I'll call it send to reseller just as before. I still want an icon. There's a forward button I do like. The formula, just see here, one JavaScript. I want it from the library. Here, oh, didn't select correctly, like this. I will add the parameters. We have the primary control, the selected items, selected item references. I have the name of the variable. Here, there's a space, don't need that. For the fourth, confirm that you wish to submit this car. It's only a single car, we don't need the parameter. Car submitted. Like this. And for the final parameter, the Boolean, I'll set this as true. And I also have the visibility. I'll always show this button. So let's save and publish this. Let's play it. And we'll let it load for a moment. Let's try to open. Oh, there it is. Just waiting for the, just as in the grid view, it sometimes need to refresh a couple of times with force refresh. There we are. The last parameter you saw that I had was the true false, and that actually whether or not the timeline should be updated. So in this case, I have this timeline here. So if I send to reseller, I will confirm that I wish to submit. I will say yes. When I click the OK, it updates the timeline. So I don't need to refresh. I just forced an update of this timeline. So that's basically my demo. And as I said before, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll just show the QR code again. And that's it for me.